Hello, let us start a new chapter called liquidation of company. Let's understand what is liquidation of a company. Liquidation is the legal procedure by which the company comes to an end. We know that company is an artificial person. It can only come into existence by legal process. In the same way, if company want to close its business, it must go through the legal procedure. That procedure is called as liquidation. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಕಂಪನಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್. ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್, ಆ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಇಂದ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಎಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ mode of winding up of company. Company is wind up in two modes. First one, compulsory winding up. Okay, what is compulsory winding up means? When tribunal decide the company or orders the company to close his business, when tribunal orders the company to close his business, it is called as compulsory wind up. Okay, under this case company has to wind up his business. In following cases, the tribunal orders the company to wind up his business. First one, when the company is incapable to pay his debt, then tribunal may order the company to close his business. Second case, when company itself want to liquidate by tribunal. Third case, when company is acting against the country, then tribunal may order the company to wind up his business. Fourth case, company has conducted a fraudulent activity, then tribunal may order a company to wind up its business. Fifth case, when company made any default in filing the financial statement and annual returns for 5 years, it can wind up its business. In sixth case, winding up on the just equitable grounds of the tribunal. If tribunal feels the company must be closed down for a benefit of others, for benefit of itself, it can make the company to close its business. Okay, second case is voluntary winding up. Under voluntary winding up, there is no pressure for a company to close the business by tribunal, but it voluntarily closes business itself. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್. ಕಂಪನಿ ಎರಡು ತರ ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂತ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನಂತಾರೆ ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್. ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಕಂಪನಿ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಯಾವ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ 6 ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ಕೇಪಬಲ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಡೆಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ, ಫ್ರಾಡುಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಎಗೇನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಡಿಫಾಲ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಆನ್ಯುವಲ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಈ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಕಂಪ್ನಿನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾರು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಂಪ್ನಿನ ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಯಾವುದು, ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟಾಪಿಕ್ liquidator. Next topic, liquidator. In previous topic we came to know that there are two modes of liquidation. First one is compulsory winding up, second one is voluntary winding up. In the case of compulsory winding up, the tribunal will appoint a person called liquidator. In voluntary winding up, the company will appoint a person called liquidator. The liquidator's job is to carry on the process of liquidation of a company. Okay, what is the job of liquidator? He will be appointed by tribunal or company depending on the situation, and his job is to carry on the process of liquidation. That means he will sell all the assets of a company and he will pay all the liabilities of a company. Okay, for carrying on his business, he will be required a statement, and the board of director has to provide a statement of affairs within 21 days of his or her appointment. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ ನಾವು ಅವಾಗೆ ಓದ್ದಂಗೆ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 2 ಮೋಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಏನಂತಾರೆ, ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಏನಂತೀವಿ, ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್. ಕಂಪಲ್ಸರಿ ವೈಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ನ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ವಾಲಂಟರಿ ವೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಪ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ನ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಬೋತ್ ಈ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಇವ್ನ ಕೆಲಸ ಏನು, ಈ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಏನು ವರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾರಿ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಇವ್ನ ವರ್ಕ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಇವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಅಸೆಟ್ ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲ ಲಯಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಇವು ಈ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಇವನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಕಂಪನಿ ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಇವನಿಗೆ 21 ಡೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಫೇರ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ is appointed by either by tribunal or by company depending on the scenario, and his work is to what, sell all the asset and pay all the liabilities. Okay, and you will also prepare a statement regarding this. That statement is called as liquidator final statement. This statement contain the detail of all the receipt which he got by selling the asset and all the payment which he has paid in a specific order, and payment must be made in this order only. Payment must be made in this order only. Okay, first this format contain two side, receipt side and payment side. In receipt side, cash in hand, cash at bank, which is already in a liquid form, it cannot be sold because it is already in liquid form only. Okay, after cash in hand, cash at bank, asset realized. Asset realized include all the asset which the liquidator will sell. Okay, marketable security, bills receivable, loans, stock in trade, working process, land and building, etc. But we have to be careful when it comes to surplus from secure creditors. That means, let us assume the company has land and building. Let us assume the company has land and building, and that particular land and building has been secured against creditors. Okay, let's assume the land and building is selling for 10 lakh. Land and building is selling for 10 lakh. The creditor against the land and building which it has been secured for is 9 lakh. It is secured for is how much? 9 lakh. I am repeating once again scenario. Land and building is there with the company and it is secured against creditor. It is secured against creditor. The land and building is selling for how many lakh? 10 lakh. And secure, we have to pay to secure creditor is how much? 9 lakh. Okay, when any asset is secured against, secure creditor, if you sell that asset means you have to pay for that creditor first. That means land and building is selling for 10 lakh. We have to pay it for secure creditor first. How much? 9 lakh. What is the surplus? Realized from secure creditor? 1 lakh. We can write only how much? 1 lakh. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಅಸೆಟ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯಿತಾ, ಅದನ್ನು ಸೆಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ನಾವು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಅದರಿಂದ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಅಮೌಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಲ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಎಷ್ಟು ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಆಯಿತು? 10 ಲ್ಯಾಕ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ? 9 ಲ್ಯಾಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಮೈನಿಂಗ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ನ ಏನಂತ ಬರ್ಕೊಬೋದು? ಸರ್ಪ್ಲಸ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟಾರ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ listen carefully. If amount realized from particular asset is less than amount payable, let us assume amount realized by selling the asset is 9 lakh, the secure creditor is 10 lakh. Then we can deduct only how much? 9 lakh, and remaining amount will be surplus, will be what? 0. But listen here, I am explaining another example. In this example, the asset is realized for how many lakh? 9 lakh, and secure creditor is for how many lakh? 10 lakh. In this scenario we cannot get surplus of that asset. ಈ ಸಿನಾರಿಯೋಲಿ ಏನು ಬರಲ್ಲ, ನಮಗೆ ಸರ್ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಬರೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಇರೋದು ಕಮ್ಮಿ and liability is more. In this case we will pay how many lakh? Only 9 lakh. Remaining 1 lakh is treated as unsecured creditor. As what? Unsecured creditor. Okay, it is one of the important adjustment. After that we will write calls in arrears, and finally any amount collected from the shareholders will be written. Okay, receipt side will be written in this order only: cash in hand, cash at bank, and all the asset realized. And if any asset secure, we will deduct secure creditors and amount received from the shareholders. Okay, next payment side. In payment side, first we have to pay to the secure creditor. Okay, if it is already paid here, if it is already deducted here, no need for writing secure creditor here once more. Okay, secure creditor can be either paid by deducting in receipt side, or it can be paid in payment side first item. Okay, if you already deducted from the receipt side, then no need for writing secure creditor once again. Then after secure creditor, for whom we will pay to legal charges including liquidation expenses. Any expenses incurred for liquidation will be paid next. Okay, after liquidation expenses we will pay liquidator remuneration. We know the person liquidator is appointed by tribunal or a company. He will conduct the process of liquidation and he will not work for free. He will get a remuneration. That remuneration is called as what? Liquidator remuneration. After that, debenture holder. Any payment made to debenture holder who have floating rate. Okay, who have floating rate. If he is secured against a specific asset, he will be paid here. If he have floating rates, means he will be paid after liquidator remuneration. Any interest on debentures, any capital on debenture will be paid. Next, preferential creditor. Next, unsecured creditor. Next, preference creditor, any dividend payable to preference creditor. Finally, we will pay to equity shareholder, and payment must be made in this order only. Okay, first we will make payment to secure creditor and it will be deducted here only. No need for writing in payment side. Okay, after that, legal charges including liquidation expenses. After that, liquidator remuneration. Next, debenture holder. Next, preferential creditor, unsecured creditor, preference creditors, preference shareholder. Finally, if any amount left means we will pay to equity shareholder. If any amount not left means we will not pay to equity shareholder. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀನಿ, ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಏನೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಇದೇ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಆರ್ಡ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ನಾವು ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಚಾರ್ಜಸ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಡಿಬೆಂಚರು, ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್, ಅನ್ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್, ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್. ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಮಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಸಿಗಲ್ಲ. As we came to know the order of payment, here we know what is the meaning of liquidation expenses and what is liquidator remuneration, who is debenture holder, but we have to understand who is preferential creditor. Okay, we know preferential creditor will be paid before paying to unsecured creditor. Let us understand overall the people comes under preferential creditor. Preferential creditor means if any of the payment due to these guys will be treated as preferential creditor. Okay, first one, government taxes preceding 12 months. Any taxes due preceding 12 months will be treated as what? Preferential creditor. Okay, more than 12 months means it will be treated as unsecured creditor. Okay, only taxes due for a duration of preceding 12 months will be treated as preferential creditor. Contribution to ESI, holiday remuneration, workman compensation act, any amount due for employee under these acts, workman compensation act or PF, pension or gratuity fund, any amount due to employee under these act will be treated as what? Preferential creditors. Okay, or any salary or wages payable to employee, maximum 4 months or maximum 20,000, whichever is lesser, will be treated as what? Preferential creditor. That means preferential creditor include all these things. If company is due to outsider, right, and the due include these things, that means it is treated as what? Preferential creditor. Okay, ಕಂಪನಿ ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಈ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಇರೋ ಪರ್ಸನಿಗೆ ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನೇನಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಓಕೆ, first we studied about what is liquidation, next mode of liquidation, next we studied about what is liquidator, next we studied about format, next we studied about what is preferential creditor. Last topic under today's class is liquidator remuneration. Okay, we know who is liquidator. Liquidator is a person, either he is appointed by the tribunal or he is appointed by the company. What he will do, he will undertake the process of liquidation and he will not do this process and or his work for free. He will get certain remuneration. Okay, his remuneration may be either on asset realized. Okay, we know what is asset realized. His remuneration may be either on asset realized or on payment made to preferential creditor or on payment made to unsecured creditor or payment made to shareholders. Okay, I am repeating once again, the liquidator remuneration may also fixed on certain percentage of amount realized from selling the asset, or his remuneration may be fixed on any amount paid to preferential creditor. Any amount paid to preferential creditor into certain percentage may be his remuneration, or any amount paid to unsecured creditor into certain percentage may be what, remuneration to liquidator. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್, ಅವ್ರು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯುನಲ್ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಡಿಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಷನ್. ಅವರು ಫ್ರೀಯಾಗಿ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅವ್ರ ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಸೆಟ್ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಸೆಟ್ ನಾವು ಸೇಲ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ರುಪೀಸಿಗೆ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಆಗಿ 2 lakh ಮೇಲೆ 2% 3% ಅಂತ ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರಿಫರೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸರ್ಟನ್ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು, ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಓಕೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇನ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ 2 formulas. First formula and second. What is the first formula? Listen. If fund are available with us. Example, we know that payment will be made in a specific order. Okay, first we pay to whom? The secured creditor. Next we will pay to what, liquidation expenses. Next we will pay to liquidator commission. Next to debenture holder. Next we will pay to preferential creditor. Next we will pay, if any fund is available means we will pay to unsecured creditor. Okay, if fund is not available means we cannot pay to unsecured creditor. Okay, same way, if fund is not available means we cannot pay to what, preferential creditor. Same way, if fund is not available means we cannot pay to shareholders. Okay, if fund is not available, if fund is available means we will use this formula. If fund is not available means we will use below formula. Okay, if fund is available means for calculating remuneration we will use this formula. Payment, what is the payment made to unsecured creditor? 1 lakh into rate 2%. Okay, if fund is not available, example, for if fund is lesser than payment mayable. Okay, if we will having the fund of 50,000 but we need to pay for unsecured creditor is 1 lakh. Okay, can fund is sufficient to make a payment to unsecured creditor? No, it is not sufficient to make a payment to unsecured creditor. In this case we will use below formula. Fund available into rate divided by 100 plus rate. Okay, example, what is the fund available? 50,000 into, let us assume 2% is commission, 2 divided by 102. Rate is 2%, 100 plus rate is 102. Okay, ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ, ಲಿಕ್ವಿಡೇಟರ್ ರೆಮ್ಯುನರೇಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ 2 ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. 1 ಟೈಪ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಫಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಲೋನ್ ಪೇ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಫಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಫಂಡ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಟು ರೇಟ್. ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಫಂಡ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ? ಫಂಡ್ ಅವೈಲಬಲ್ ಇಂಟು ರೇಟ್ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ 100 ಪ್ಲಸ್ ರೇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ.